What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. I'm Jack. I'm your host. I'm joined by Brian, and I'm joined
Hello.
by Scott.
What's up?
How are you two gentlemen?
Bonjour. I'm all right.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
it's Sunday at 9:25.
Long live the Emperor,
Yep.
or whatever they
beloved by
say.
all. The
The
Emperor
Emperor
protects.
protects.
The Emperor protects.
Yeah, the Emperor living is kind of like he's in a real gray area right now, sitting on that.
I don't know the
golden throne.
lore. I just like playing the thing.
Oh,
Just go
I'm
for
going to tell you all of the lore then.
Good.
On another podcast.
You can just see it. You can just see it sitting behind me.
You can check
Yeah.
out our second channel. We don't have a second channel. That's a joke.
That's a captain.
That's Captain.
All
We got 30
We
something
got stuff
spoilers
do. Yeah, we should probably move.
to catch up on, and these are going to be probably the next,
They're
till we
coming-
get through them
they're
all.
coming
They're-
fast and furious.
And it's almost a lot to keep up with because before it was like each content creator got 2. Now it's 1. So it's like even if we're getting the same amount, we're now getting like 5 different content creator posts
Yeah.
instead of just 2
Yeah,
or whatever.
it is a lot. It's fun.
Yeah. So
I'm all about it.
Fun.
yeah, we'll pretty much roll right into it. First up, we got Plo Koon. He's a 5-cost ground unit, cunning heroism. Kotoya. Does he say? I don't even.
I need to do a Clone Wars
I
rewatch.
say I need to rewind.
I don't remember any of this.
Is that his yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Battle cry. Koolimpa.
But he's got 3 power, 6 health, Force Jedi Republic. He has Ambush, and then he has Coordinate Raid 3. So again, gain this keyword while you control 3 or more units. This unit gets +3 while attacking, and he's an uncommon. 566 is cool. Remains to be
Yeah.
seen how good Coordinate is.
Yeah, 536, not so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he still has ambush, so you can come in and take something and then still be on the board to possibly like get the coordinate. But it really depends on like if you can get the coordinate going. I mean, you only need 2 other units in him. He's satisfying one of those conditions.
Yeah.
We are going to see a few different ways to create some clone troopers. So
True.
but he's got a nice array of traits. 4 trait. It's just going to be all over the place. Every color is going to get it. All the colors.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Force coming up. Curious to
Yep.
see how much Jedi matters, too.
Yeah, that's fair.
But-
Yeah, right now we haven't seen too much in the way. Or have we seen anything that affects that?
Just the General's Blade, I think, if it's on a Jedi, I think.
If it's on a Jedi. Oh yeah, I guess, and then also the Jedi lightsaber. No wait, is that Force unit?
That's Force, where the
That's
General's
Force.
Blade is if it's on a Jedi.
Jedi.
Yeah. But, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot to get through, so we're not going to
We're not gonna
hang too crazy on these.
cool art. I like it.
Very much so. Next up, Brian.
Next up, we got Gore. It's a 12-cost ground unit for command, single aspect. Revis's pet. It's a 7/7 separatist creature with a wall of text. Exploit 3, Sentinel, Ambush, and Overwhelm. This is crazy. And it is a legendary, I should mention.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's the biggest wall of text while also being the smallest wall of text.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, get
all
rid
those
of-
reminders on there, you know. But I think this is a really interesting concept, and I think that exploit is going to be a really cool mechanic, and I think it's going to be easy to get off. In my opinion, I think that we've seen a couple things that just pop out, and we will see a couple things that just pop out. Battle droids, and if you can get this just right, you should be getting it out. What is it? Exploit 3 minus 6, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
For 6, a 6/7/7 with all of this crud on it, like crazy, pretty crazy. If you can get there,
Yeah, that's pretty good because if you're thinking of like just think Maul at 7 cost for 7/6 with half of those keywords. No, not half.
He has
those
ambush
keywords,
overall.
2 out of 3. Yeah, 2 out of 3 of the keywords. Half the keywords, but exploit doesn't really count.
Yeah.
No,
it jumps to an attack after he's on the board too. So I mean, that's all. Most likely will jump
Yeah.
an attack. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Strong unit, especially if you can get it out for 6. Really going to depend on your battle droid production. Really going to have to make sure that you also protect yourself from cards like Power of the Dark Side. 'Cause the last thing you want to be doing is sacrificing your entire board to bring out something big to walk into a Power of the Dark Side. So keep a battle droid around if you're going against.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point because I think we've talked like a lot about how with token units, Power of the Dark Side gets worse, but also if you're exploiting everything on your board, Power of the Dark Side is suddenly still pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so that's We'll see. We'll see where it like really falls in. If
Yeah.
there's that much token production, then it could be a card that doesn't see as much play. But exploit definitely kind of brings it back into the focus. But yeah,
Definitely.
Gore's cool.
Yeah. And I wonder, and it probably is true, where I get worried of like the exploit high numbers where it's like if I play Maul and I ambush him in for 7/6 and like overwhelm like 2-3 damage and he lives, and your like only real answer is like waylay or spare the target, it's generally going to feel pretty bad to do that. Whereas
Yeah.
with something like Gore, where it's like, sure, you got it in for 7, but if I waylay that, you now have to kill 3 things again to play it for a decent price. So
Yeah.
it's like the exploit things too. It's like, yeah, it makes me nervous to go all in on not like insane value. Like 6/7/7 ambush overwhelm is obviously good. I don't know how much I care about the Sentinel, but he's just interesting.
The Sentinel will be a lot better if there was an additional text that said like on Maul where it says something else can soak up that damage for him.
He doesn't have
But
the
if
room.
you're right, that's true too. But also, I mean, you don't have to use the ambush. I mean, you could use this as a Sentinel if you like. There's some really weird things you can do with this. It doesn't need to have ambush, but
If you're not
I
ambushing
don't
this
know.
and you're sacrificing 3 units played at 6, I feel like it's suddenly a doo-doo card.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I'm starting to look at it, thinking like, I think it's a more complicated card than I initially looked at.
I just think there'll probably be better value for 6 cost, 6 drops that I don't have to kill 3 things with potentially.
Possibly. Maybe we'll see some more cards that are triggered off of cost, like actual cost, and then or are protected by being a high cost. Like for instance, if it was like capture a unit that's cost lower than you, we've seen that with some few things. But having the big cost right now is only a detriment, even if you can get it out for 6. So maybe we'll see some effects that actually make it a positive that it's a 12 cost unit.
Yeah. I also like that a lot of people had no idea who this was because it was like a season 1 episode of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It was very early on.
It's going to be a cool hyperspace. I
Yeah.
want to see what the rest of the background is.
Yeah. All right. On next one, Scott.
All right. We got Shock T. Unity Wins Wars. She is a 4-cost command heroism 3/4 Force Jedi Republic. I feel like we're going to be saying those words a lot. Each friendly token unit gets +1/+0. That's just a static effect. And then on attack, create a clone trooper unit. Little understated for a 4 cost, but then obviously you're creating a clone trooper unit, which is, what are they, 2/2s?
Yep.
Clone troopers are 2/2s, battle droids are 1/1. So if you get 1 attack off with this, then you're all of a sudden very happy with having paid 4 costs for that. So 4 health, probably enough to maybe stick on the board to get that attack off. Just the downside is like if your opponent were to ECL and ambush in like a K2 or something, you don't trade effectively into it. So there's that aspect to it, but still a very like attractive card from its keywords, and then the fact that like you can just put it on the field and it will do something by buffing all of your clones. Like if you just had a wall of clones out there.
Yeah, it's one of those cards that's like almost feels worse on curve because of its poor stats. But if you have like a few clones out or like another threat out, and then you play this as well, it's like, oh, do I deal with?
Yeah.
Say like I don't know what the decks would look like, but say there's like a clone or 2 out, the opponent plays home 1 and brings back Shock T. It's like, all right, do I deal with the 7/7 that's giving everything restore? Do I deal with the person that's creating clones and gives them +1 attack? Like, I feel like those situations could be interesting.
Yeah, either way, you're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because she's there and she gets an attack off. Bad news for you.
Yeah. Not saying like don't play her on curves. There's definitely situations like that, but to me she almost seems like a little more interesting when you have something scary out and then can support that with her.
Yep, she does require like you to have an answer. If you don't have an answer, she's gonna start creating 3/2 clones.
Yeah,
which is a problem.
Yeah. Cool. Next, technically is ObiWan, but we talked about him and we'll show Hello There in a second too. But we did a spoiler video for Hello There and got to talk about ObiWan, so we're not going to dive into that here. You can go check out that video, and even could just check out the intro if you're really interested in that. So moving on, we have our first rare base for set 3, first one since set 1, and we have Pentraki Arena. And each leader you control gets +1/+0. It's yellow. It's cunning, and you have 26 health.
26 health.
Yeah.
26 health. What do they roll a dice?
Yeah, I wonder how they look at that. I mean, it's certainly like giving your leaders just like +1 attack on like, and I can think of there's several situations where that like matters, is going to be relevant. Like I think of yellow bases that I've played that have been aggro, like maybe Boba doesn't care, but ones that are a little more aggro like Sabine or Kylo, like +1 to Kylo, he's definitely happy. And then there's been definitely games where I played like yellow Sabine and they like do it right, so I deploy Sabine and I was going to hit base, but now they drop like an Echo Base Defender or like a Phase 3 or Cell Block Guard, and I'm like, I know I can attack in and get 1 damage to base, but then I'm just like chipping 2 into them and their 3 health thing lives. So making her a 3/5 that does 1 to base as well, I think is super relevant. And
yeah,
I mean yeah, I like it.
If you're looking at an aggro deck that doesn't really care about your life so much, because you're really like you win or you lose by if your board gets controlled, it could be relevant there. But then I wonder if like you're running this into another aggro deck that has 30 health. I think that's just like real tough sledding for you.
Petranaki.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be able to say it.
I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. I don't really. I'm not looking at the rest of the text on the card.
There's not that much text on the card.
Petranaki, Petranat, Geonosis.
Petran Akai.
Yeah, Petran Akai.
I'm just gonna call it Geonosis.
All right.
Yeah, 26 health. That's so weird.
I think that's the most exciting part for me. Is now I'm curious to be like, are we gonna get a 24, 20? Like,
yeah, are we gonna get everywhere in between? Are we gonna get like a 29 health base?
Yeah, they could do 26, 27, 28, and 29 for the 4 for this one,
Wow.
which would be funny.
Wow.
Okay, on to the next one, Brian.
ObiWan's Ether Sprite is a 5-cost space unit, vigilance and heroism. This is why I hate flying. It's a 4/6 Jedi Republic vehicle fighter. When played on attack, you may deal 1 damage to this unit and 2 damage to another space unit. Look at that synergy with Obi-Wan Kenobi. The fact that it's just another space unit kind of puts a little hindrance on what. I mean, I think this is a draft card if you're playing with Obi-Wan, right? Like, I don't think this is. I don't know if Obi-Wan's going to be like cream of the crop, top boy leader this set. So I don't think Obi-Wan's Aether's Sprite's really going to see too much either. But it's a 5/4/6. I mean, stats or whatever. When played non-attack are kind of okay. It clears out like Black Sun Starfighter. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Black Sun Starfighter.
I mean, it also creates trades with stuff like Fet's Fire Spray and whatnot. Like it can hit up.
Yeah, it can
kill a Fet's Fire Spray on attack with that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
If you were to say ambush this in and you get both the on play and when played, you could go up and hunt some Star Destroyers.
Yeah, you could do 8
damage in total. So I think having both the when played and on attack, I think it's a pretty attractive card. I mean, pinging off shields off of TIE defenders, going on the attack and attack someone else, kill that. I think it's got pretty relevant stats for itself. I think it can just carry the damage and not really care about it because you're just kind of relying on it to clear space and then not have anything else there to attack it.
Yeah, I agree. And I've grown to really like the 4/6 stat line in space. Like I know some people have started messing around with the Delphi Patrol Wing more in like Sabine aggro and stuff, just because like that 6 health is generally pretty relevant in having that big booty. And this is this works in a way where it's you may, right? If you play it and you just simply play it as a 4/6 in space because they don't have any other space units, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
it's
the
a
fact
Jedi
that
too, which is funny. So
this can trade into those other 4/6s very effectively. Not even trade in, like it can trade out with them.
yeah, and you still leave behind because they would do 5
Yep.
total. Yep.
And you still got the 1 health.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Okay,
Did we convince you, Brian? Are you on board now?
it's cool.
We'll
Not.
take it. We'll take it.
We don't need Obi. We don't need to convince you on Obi. Just as out of respect.
It moved from a C to a B for me.
Yeah.
That works.
All right. So yeah, the next one on the list. We go order of SwooDB. Wanted to shout it in there just because it's on the list. Hello there. We did a video. -4. Cool card. On to the next one. Scott.
Yep. Royal Guard Attaché. It is a 2-cost unit, vigilance only. 2 attack, 3 health, Naboo Trooper. When played, deal 2 damage to this, or 5 health. My brain short-circuited to what it's going to actually have when it comes into the table.
Yeah.
When played, deal 2 damage to this unit. When we saw this previewed, a lot of people were like, well, what's the point of that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's obviously, well, because like it actually has 5 health, so you do have room to heal it. It's a 2-cost, 2/3. That's what it is. But it's got some room to heal, so it's a little bit better than just being a 2. That's it. That's all.
Here's the common. Here we can do this on the single aspect commons. Yeah. No, I mean it's just like it's whatever. There's synergy with ObiWan. You know, it'll be like a decent play turn 1 and draft with him and stuff like that. But unless Naboo starts to shape up, I don't see a
Unless you
reason
can adopt it into Wookiees and it has grit somehow.
to play it. Yeah. You play it in Kira with First Light. Boom. It's got grit now.
You play it in Han and it's got 1 health left. When
Yeah, you pay it for 1. It's a 2/1.
It's on. The stats are on curve.
On curve. All right. On to the next one. We got another Kashyyyk Defender. Set 2 had a Kashyyyk Defender as well. This is a 2-cost ground unit, vigilance, heroism, 0 attack, 5 health, Wookiee trait, has grit, and has a when played heal up to 2 damage from another unit and deal that much damage to this unit. And it's an uncommon. Unironic, this would actually be pretty nice to make it with Han too, because you play it for 1 and it's now a 4/1, and you healed 2 off of probably something you care more about. I think this could have a spot potentially. I don't think it's like a world breaker, and I could see it just not straight up not making it, not worth it, because 1 health can be scary with some pings in the meta. But
yeah,
It's neat.
Yeah, if it's any good, the fact that we got like 2 cards that have the same name, a little weird.
Hunter,
Echo?
We'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. On to the next
Unique
one.
cards are one thing. These things are a whole nother.
I love Wookiees. What can I say? So I'm next. Knight of the Republic is a 6-cost ground unit, vigilance, heroism again. And it's a 4/7 Force Jedi Republic. When this unit is attacked, create a clone trooper token. This is a weird one. When it's attacked, create a clone trooper unit or token is cool, but I want to pair it with some Sentinel somehow. Like get some Raken in there and make it a Sentinel, and But
about 2 clone troopers.
Yeah, right.
I think to
Hello there.
I think to get that value out of it, you got to be a little too cute.
I think it takes a little too long to set up, and I think it is a little too cute. You might even get no out of this because it might just get hard removed.
That's fair.
Yeah, you might have to buff it to the point where it's scary and they're like, oh, I do have to deal with this, but then it just gets like Thel or I would say like Vanquish or Rival's Fall, but those aren't played as much. But if you slap like a Jedi lightsaber on this, it's like, oh crap, this is now a 7/10 that creates a clone. I need to deal with this immediately. But you're probably going to do with you're probably not going to swing into it. You're probably going to play some other type of removal.
Yeah, unless we see some cards that make this like a can't ignore it type thing.
Yeah. The only like super low investment is like a mono blue deck that plays Protector or whatever. Like the 1 cost upgrade, give it Sentinel from set 1. but do you want to be playing Sentinel? It basically becomes the question.
Nope.
Yeah.
Can't
Unless
even make
unless
the
there's
Sentinel look
several
chewy.
cards that have a when this unit's attacked, then it's like maybe because I have a few options, but like, do I want to run 3 upgrades for this specific unit that's not my leader?
No.
Yeah. All
Sure.
right.
Moving along. I'm up.
Yes.
Am I? I am.
You're
All
getting the
right,
draft
we've got-
fives.
We have infantry of the 212, whatever. 212.
212.
212.
The dentist, infantry of the dentist.
212. All right, it is a 3-cost vigilance, 2 attack, 4 health, Republic clone trooper. Again, those words we're going to be saying a lot. It has coordinate sentinel. And moving on to the next card.
Yeah.
If you really want a 2/4 Sentinel, just play the Cloud City Wingguard that nobody played.
Yes, this is a draft card. This does not.
Yep.
This does not go into. It's going to be a cool looking hyperspace card, but yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, 212. Clone Commander Cody.
We're meant to be expendable.
Yep.
Not to me.
Not that expendable because you need 2 other units on the board for it to be expendable.
On to the next
Doesn't even-
one.
Doesn't even have Sentinel the turn it comes out. On the curve.
Han Blue, you play 2/1 drops. Boom, boom.
All right, that's fair. All right, the next guy, the Haunter of
Kraken.
Dreams.
5 cost, ground unit, Confederate Tactician. Command, villainy, 2 attack, 5 health, Separatist droid. When played, create 2 battle droid tokens, and on attack, give each friendly token unit +1/+1 for this phase. And he's an uncommon. Kraken was a menace in early Shatterpoint. I'm glad to see him here. Curious if Kalani joins him. I like it. I mean, obviously 2/5 isn't great, like stats alone, but essentially it's 4/7. Because you're getting 2/1/1s, and then you can also then potentially buff them to make them 2/2s and stuff like that. So he's interesting. I don't think he's shattering the world, but I could see him being like a 1 or 2 of in some of these decks.
If he's definitely like a playable card in a world where you're exploiting.
Yeah.
Because he is a good engine for that. I mean, he's getting you 3 bodies.
Yeah, you play him, you're already at something to 3 exploit.
You play him and you can play Gore next turn.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Sack him too.
Yeah, that'll be one of
He's
the things where it's like
expendable.
suddenly it's like, all right, they're at 3. I need to kill one of these droids.
Yeah, one of these battle droids. But
Is it-
that's a good thing. It's a little bit of we'll call it a blade of armor for your base.
Yep.
I'm interested to see how this all interacts with each other. I'm very excited. There's a lot of different strategy going on with the exploit coordinate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Next, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Separatist Super Tank is a ground unit. Costs 9. A command villainy 8/8 Separatist vehicle tank with exploit 3. So you you play the Kraken, and then this can come out next turn for
3.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could just take out those 2 the Kraken and it comes out for 6. The 6/8/8
Come out for 5.
for 5. Sorry, I math is math. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean 5/8/8. Yeah.
It's pretty good though. I mean 5/8/8 is. You don't have
You
to
can-
do
You
all
can do this
3 exploits.
after you've utilized those battle droids too to like pay
Right.
the base.
Right.
Yeah, you go Kraken and then droid, and then play this.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I just like you want to attack with Kraken, so he gives the buff potentially.
This is also now we are in the realm of like this. You could play it at 9 and you don't absolutely hate your life.
Yeah,
you
that's
do, but
appropriately statted.
yeah, it's not like Gore where you're like, I'm gonna play this for 12 and just no, it's never happening.
Yeah.
Depending
The more
on
I sat on
it's-
Gord, the more I think he's going to be one of those binder cards. TBH. You can just play Maul.
Yeah.
A little clogged.
But
in
yeah,
that
especially
region.
in villain. Like hero,
Mhm.
maybe let's take a look at it. But villain, it's like even within green, there's Maul and Vader. It's like he's
Yep.
playing for that spot.
Feels bad to exploit your clones though, since they're a little beefier. I don't know.
I'll say
Let's
there's
see
some
now.
cards that could potentially let heroes make clones as well, or droids as well.
Yes.
But they also don't have as much exploit on their side, outside of Gore and maybe some other neutral stuff. There was, maybe it was ACOS. I'm trying to remember, what was that Blizzard Assault AT?
Blizzard Assault 88,
Yeah, that like got
Exhaust.
0 play. And what was that, an 888?
888 exhaust all ground units.
No,
including
not the one that on played exhausted everything. The green one from set 1 that was in the starter.
That was it. That was Blizzard 88.
No, the Blizzard was deal the leftover damage to another unit. You're thinking of the blue Vigilance one that exhausts everything, all ground units when it's played.
I'm looking.
It's not as if we're not staring at a website that'll tell us.
I'm looking.
But basically, my point was that nobody played that at 8.8, and that has the potential to like snipe 2 things if there's a Sentinel.
The AT-AT suppressor is an 888, and when played exhaust all ground units, it's blue.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Blizzard.
So
the green one.
Blizzard Assault AT is
a
899.
It's a
When this
9.9.
unit attacks, and if he, I see what you're saying.
My point, I'm
I'm
trying to draw the comparison of like, I know playing it for 9 at 8.8, if that's not like you don't have anything else, isn't like the worst thing in the world. But it's like there's probably things that had better stats and did more.
Yeah, but they can't come out at 3
potentially
or
early.
5 or 7.
It's just gonna feel bad if you're playing it for 8.8.
Still bad. Yeah, if you're not, if you're playing it at 3 or 5, you're liking it. You're liking yourself a little bit better.
Yeah.
5 realistically is probably the sweet spot because you're not going to have 3 things to exploit to get it out on turn 3, presumably, unless that's a thing. But you could very easily drop this on 5.
Yeah. And that's scary.
Yeah, that's you're just thinking like overwhelming barrage platform, take out a bunch of stuff, swing into most any leader, take it out.
Yep. I am very glad though that this game has ECL check for printed cost. Like, could you imagine if somebody exploited this down to 5 and then they were able to ECL it? I was like, okay.
Happy logo.
Yeah.
All right.
Scott.
Next thing up, we got Echo. Unit ground. 2 cost. He is command, heroism, 2 attack, 2 health, public clone trooper. Repeating myself. And he's got coordinate. This unit gains +2/+2. So if you control 3 units, he's a 4/4. I do not dislike the concept of something that you can play it to, and then later in the game can be more relevant as far as its stats. Maybe it's the secret to unlocking hunter decks. Who knows?
Maybe there's a lot that needs unlocking in there.
Yeah, but now you can play 6. You can play 6 echoes. So
I think they locked that and threw the key away a long time.
Echo can echo himself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll almost depend how quickly. I don't know. Like, obviously, if a card we'll look at later can spawn 2 clone trooper tokens for 3. So if you're playing like mono green, you could go echo into that. But I mean, 3 2s are barely getting played because they die to everything. So it's like 2 2s. Like, this is essentially gonna be 2/2 for if you don't have initiative, it's gonna die, and you're not gonna trade back. So
that is fair. But yeah, he's gonna unlock Hunter though.
Unlocking him.
Unlocking him.
All right, on the next one.
That's really the secret.
Republic tactical officer, 2 cost ground unit, command, heroism, 1 attack, 4 health, Republic clone. And when played, you may attack with a Republic unit. It gets +2 for this attack. It's a common, essentially Fleet Lieutenant. Obviously this ability is very, very good, so it's like worth looking at this as you build your Republic decks. But like Fleet Lieutenant's power was paying 3, attacking, buffing it, and leaving behind a 3/3 body. Whereas this leaves behind a 1/4. And obviously, I mean, that's nice for coordinate and stuff like that. Having a 4 health unit, but to me, it doesn't scream as powerful as Fleet Lieutenant because the 3/3 body was so much.
I would compare it much more to the Stormtrooper Lieutenant.
Yeah, and that rarely got played.
Yeah, it did, but it does see a little bit of play just because it is relevant to have that like plus stat.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could definitely see this getting some play because of that. I am very confused by the fact that this is a clone, and then I look at the art, and I'm like, that is not a clone. Like
Yeah,
it could
that's
be a
true.
clone of another dude. Maybe they're using other people, but it is not a Jenga. That is not Jenga Fett.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how that snuck by the Disney approval process.
Yeah.
don't know. But I agree with Jack. I think it's a weaker fleet movement.
Yeah, but that's a weaker version of a good card, so might still see has some life.
Yeah, I'm not writing it off, but it's definitely like Fleet was automatic 3 of, where this I'll be like, all right, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it feels.
This might make the cut.
Yeah. Yeah. On the next one.
Delta Supply Frigate is a 5-cost space unit, command heroism 3/6 Republic vehicle capital ship with coord. When played, create a clone trooper token. So you're essentially paying 5 for maybe a 5/8, technically on that phase. I don't care for it.
Yeah, it's a.
And I will not explain further.
Yeah, I mean, when played, coordinate is a little tough to swallow.
It's terrible. If it was an on-attack coordinate, okay.
If it was on attack coordinate, I might. Yeah,
that would be insane. Yeah, potentially.
That'd be crazy.
It's
Spawning a clone.
repeatable. We're calling it crazy. You mean it might actually see play?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be playable.
Yeah.
This is not great.
No, unless there's just a lot like, yeah. Even then, I don't think this is the best way to create more clones.
I mean, if your leader comes out at 5, so like you're guaranteeing at least one body, so it's like I need one more out, or they come out at 4, and then so you can play this into 5 or something along those lines. Seems like the ideal way to play it. But also, yeah.
It just doesn't. Hear the stats. I don't know. Nah.
Bro, 3/6? I'll take that in space.
I want more. I want a lot more.
Bro, you just hate spaceships. That's what it comes down to.
I do not like space.
Unless they're Fet's Fire Spray.
Unless they're pet spars.
Which is fair.
I'll also take a 7th Fleet Defender.
Yeah.
Maybe a Merc gunship. I don't know. I do actually like this ship in the row, but it's not space. So
on the next one.
Batch Brothers. 3 cost. Aggression, heroism. 2 attack, 1 health, Republic clone trooper, like the last 3 cards I've spoiled. When played, create a clone trooper unit, clone trooper token. So you're paying 3, you're essentially getting a 4/3 worth of stats. That is relevant stat line to put out there, although you're getting the weaker version of it because it's easier to kill, but it's going to enhance your coordinate. I think this is a fine card that might actually see some amount of play if coordinate is a relevant thing that you can build your deck around.
Yeah.
Because it's correct as far as its math.
4 3s were getting phased out though.
They are. You're not wrong.
yeah, just the 2/1's just roughed out. This just gets pinged by a lot of things.
Yep, I would have preferred it to have been a 2/2. I think it could have gotten away with it as a 2/2.
Yeah, because you're essentially paying 3 for 2 clone troopers. At this point, you're paying 3 for a clone trooper because this thing is not going to last long.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously designing it for like, you don't want to almost give like easy benefit of coordinate while still everything's like on par stat wise. Like there's probably got to be some type of give somewhere, and that's where you get this essentially. That's where it lost its points probably.
Yeah. Well, I think we've also seen with like the stuff with coordinate, they're taking a hit to their stats to have coordinate.
Yep.
Have we seen anything with coordinate that's just like, oh, that's just exactly what its stats should be, plus it has coordinate?
Anakin's a 5/6/6. His coordinates draw a card.
Yep, that's him.
That's just good card.
Yep. Got it.
All right. On to the next one. Low altitude gunship. 6 cost ground unit, despite what you're looking at. Not a ship. It's ground unit, low altitude in the name. Aggression, heroism, 6 attack, 5 health, Republic vehicle transport, has overwhelmed, and when played, choose an enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it for each friendly Republic unit. So you're at least going to deal 1 to something. I mean, this seems pretty good. I mean, I like Akbar. Has a similar effect. Akbar is more broad because it's just literally any unit in space.
Mhm.
Well, that has to go lanes, whereas this can just be, I have 5 ground Republic units, and I can deal 5 to something in space.
Yeah, and in theory, it's going to be a little easier to have Republic ground units than it has been previously to have other amounts of units.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than battle droids. Apparently, battle droids would be the easiest thing to have cut off.
Yeah. I mean, I like it though. I mean, it's certainly if Sabine's tired of breaking resources with Wrecker, I mean, this could be a decent 6 cost that they want to bring in.
Yeah, Wrecker at home.
Wrecker at home. One less attack, 1 less health, but you don't have to break a resource for the crazy part of it.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're coordinating, you're winning.
Yeah. All right.
R2D2. Ground unit is a cunning heroism 2 cost. Full of solutions. Sorry, my eyes are starting to go. Is a 2/4 Republic droid. When played, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, search the top 3 cards of your deck for a card and draw it. So it's like the old R2, but I want the old R2.
What do you mean?
I just prefer the old R2. This R2
Different color.
only has the when played. It has a color stipulation. I think the when played is less good and not as engine-like, and it just gains another attack. So I think the other R2 is better.
I disagree.
Hit me.
I think while R2, the 1 cost R2 is like nice to play first and filter early, I think late game when you have a dead card in your hand, it's gonna be more relevant to immediately play this, ditch the dead card, and then draw something. And then getting it into your hand is more important potentially than top decking or bottom decking.
The other R2 helps you cycle, whereas this is like a oh crap button kind of thing. Where I don't know, I think that the other R2 has a longer lasting and earlier impact on the game than this will. And I guess they're different things, and you can have both. So like, it doesn't really matter. But if I was choosing one, I would choose Sparker Belt.
I don't mind a 2/4.
That's just me. I've known to be wrong several times. So.
Never.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think being able to search the top 3 for a card and being able to pick between them feels stronger than looking at the top card definitely once, maybe twice.
Now, what I can concede is this art is infinitely better.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Again, the one's going to look good in hyperspace. Now, I think it's a really powerful effect. I think the fact that it has the Republic trait is certainly helpful because we're seeing some Republic synergy, and then it's 2 cost for 2/4 body. So I mean, it's got above average stats for its cost too.
I also want to clarify. I don't think it's bad.
No, you said it was.
I prefer the other one. I can't take it back. It's garbage.
You said it was a piece of shit.
To be fair, the other R2 also isn't like ground shattering amazing either. So if he's below that, it's probably not that good.
Well, I mean, it sees play though. I mean, it consistently sees play, and it has popped it back up across both metas. So, I mean, it has. It's shown up. I'm not going to say it's the front runner. It's no Poe ECL, but you know.
I think he just got played in this set because he was a 1-drop that Ray could buff. I don't think he's really played outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. He showed up in my meta.
All right. We can roll on R2D2. Who read that? Brian, you read that, right?
I did.
I finally have something that's not Republic Clone Trooper.
Creative. It's got him on there, but
yeah, it is a event trick. 2 cost. We're looking at cunning and heroism. Exhaust a non-unique unit. Create a clone trooper token. You can exhaust your own unit. You can exhaust your opponent's unit. you always get the clone trooper unit. Depends on what this is meta dependent card, because obviously if like their decks are playing, predominantly unique units, you don't want to have this in here, but it's not like pretty good,
It's Leia, but different.
but different.
It's playable. But
Yeah, I mean, you'd argue definitely were.
yeah, I like it.
Because now you got the stipulation
it's
of
gonna be-
non-unique.
It's going to be like this is really strong in draft and
Yeah.
in limited formats. So I mean, like it's really strong there, and it's possibly a playable card otherwise.
Yo, Flock was here. You know what he would say? Trick.
Trick.
I was gonna
Frick.
say, Flock would be like, if you play this in villain and then you play Java, you can play it for 3 and then get clone trooper.
All right.
And that's how you get just your entire board just clone troopers and battle droids.
Or you could play Jabba and Hero and then play this for 1.
Yeah.
Play Jabba for 6.
Mm-hmm. That's the real.
Genius.
All right. On the next one, Scott, I got it for you.
Thank
The
you.
Republic Clone Trooper. We got a 3-cost ground unit, just heroism, Republic Commando. Like I said, Republic Clone Trooper, 2 attack, 5 health, coordinate, has Saboteur. They really couldn't have just like made this a 3/5. Like you just I look at Toro from last set, who arguably has a better ability than like Saboteur, and also just like has it, doesn't need coordinate to get it, and he's a 3/5. I don't know. Like,
I think
Bad
they were
art,
scared
good
off
art.
because this is non-unique.
yeah, that's fair. And also, I guess has more tags. Is he just Bounty Hunter, or is he just Underworld? I forget what his tags are. He definitely doesn't have 3. I know that. And you can
Bad
argue
card,
Republic
good art.
Clone. What's that?
Bad card, good art.
Oh yeah, I love the
Kind
Commandos.
of looks like the Michelin Man. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just wish he was, I don't know, 2/5. Unless we're able to like buff him with stuff like a clone easily or
Yeah, I
trooper
don't
easily.
care that my 2-attack card has Saboteur.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know what I can
Nope.
play? I could just play a 2/3 that naturally has it and is a rebel, and I can wing leader
Okay.
at the next turn.
Yep.
So it's now a 4/5.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
And it's
Captain
common.
at
I don't
home.
know if I said that.
Ooh, I get Maul.
Yeah,
Brian.
you lucked out here, bud.
Let me lean in closer here. Maul is an aggression villainy leader. Arrival in darkness. 666, the number of the beast. Force underworld. Overwhelm. Each other friendly gains overwhelm. Sorry, his leader side. I looked at the other side first. You just do the same thing. You exhaust an action attack with an unit and gains overwhelm for this attack. Super cool leader. I'm very excited for him. I think overwhelm gives every unit having overwhelm gives you a unique sense of control that we haven't seen before, where you are going to be doing unit based shellacking and dripping into the base on the other side. So like, hey, if your opponent is playing some battle,
Please don't drip after you shellac me.
I'm gonna drip after I shellac you, brother. That's not me. It's Maul. I don't think he can
Oh
shellac.
yeah.
He's got the
He can't
robot
control
legs.
himself.
That was-
He's got the robot legs. He can't shellac anymore. But I think he's
No,
really cool.
he's back to human legs. At this point,
I don't know what he cut off.
They've done
and-
they've done the magic. They gave him back that.
I don't know. I mean, so anyway, I think he's a really good leader.
All right, that's the real question. Is Maul post magic legs a eunuch?
But yeah, I think he's really cool. What a Google search, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
I wish Flockton was here because I don't think he knows what that word means.
What's a eunuch?
Oh my gosh.
No, but I think it's gonna introduce a new type of villain control we haven't seen just yet. And I think he's gonna be really annoying to deal with.
After having George just windmill slam Maul on top, like with Emperor's Palpatine's return and Small, I think he ate 5 of them to the face. All of a sudden, you realize you're gay. Like overwhelm is really, really relevant. And giving every other friendly unit overwhelm, even your units that have like ambush stuff like that. Like,
And it costs literally nothing. Like
No,
you're still just that action
yeah.
attacking with something. You don't have to pay 1.
And then when he is flipped over into the leader, then it works on your ambush units. So like you flip him on 6, then on 7, maybe you're running both Vader and Maul in that deck, and Vader all of a sudden has Overwhelm.
Yeah.
Plus, you pair it with ECL. I mean, then it just gets nasty.
Yeah, the timing works really well on that. 6 attack as a leader is nasty. I mean, obviously 6 health is on the lower side, but
You put a fallen on him, and he's just disgusting.
Yeah, but he's not 666 anymore.
The number of the beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I like that he comes out at 6, and I like that
in.
he has 6 health. You know, there's nothing that like gets him super easy. It's generally your opponent will need like a unit on the board to maybe like surprise strike into him or something. You know, like takedown doesn't work on him, right? He's not coming out in that range. And then yeah, like you can deploy him that turn. You can ECL something, and then you can follow it up with the, you know, like a Maul unit the next turn or something like that.
I think he's super good. He's so far, from what we've seen, my absolute chase.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be that no matter what. It's Maul.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Maul
just
showcase is going to go.
Yeah.
Stonks.
into the stratosphere, dude. To the moon.
Stonks.
Diamond hands.
And natural force leader that's just naturally good in red aggression, right? Like Kylo has a specific low to the ground type thing. Grand Inquisitor wants certain things.
Vader is the most analogous to this, but Vader comes out a turn later, so this is a real alternative to that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's fit, and I know like it's been talked about. Like I know like Maddie on K2D has mentioned a few times. Like the 6 deployed leaders have just been in such a weird spot where it's like sometimes it's the one at 5 just comes out a turn later, does it better, or the one who comes out at 7 sure it's another turn, but they're so much better that it's doesn't matter. But Maul seems to hit that sweet spot. I think he's really good.
I mean, he's 12 total stats.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen a leader like, I mean, we haven't seen a leader with that stat level that comes out that early.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, 6 attack is just nutty.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be super good.
Yeah. Cool.
Just eats Han. Eats him.
Gobble gobble.
Yeah. No overwhelm.
But this next card, Scott, you could give it overall.
You could give it overall. You could. All right, so now I'm just going to get this tagline. All right, we've got the B1 attack platform. It is a 3-cost ground unit, aggression, villainy, 5 attack, 2 health, separatist droid trooper, blank text box. This is not good.
Bro, the eyes.
I love it. I love it.
I can't unsee the eyes.
It looks like the dude from Treasure Planet.
Oh my god! It looks like God, one of the droids in Futurama.
Not Treasure Planet.
I know what you're talking about.
Like I feel like one of the ones that hangs out with the mob boss droid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Clamps or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
No, it's Ben. It's Ben from Treasure Planet.
Okay.
Ben from Treasure. That's something I want to rewatch.
Why is it not a vehicle?
That's a good point. I'm mad about that.
Because it's not like it's a B1. Like if they just called it like B1 patrol droid, fine. But it's attack platform. That's a vehicle. He's riding something.
It's a stap, right? It should be a stap,
yeah.
not an attack platform. It's a stap, so it's a vehicle. It should be a vehicle. I agree. It's semantics. I don't know.
It's staring at me though.
Yeah. This dies to everything, but at least probably kills everything back within range.
I'd rather give the next card Overwhelm.
Oh yes.
100%.
Bump on over too.
But if you B1 attack platform and Maul comes out with the ECL, you're good to go.
Yep.
Sure.
Great. Good stuff.
Next up, we got a 7-cost ground unit, Savage Opress. Monster.
Woo!
Aggression, villainy, 7 attack, 7 health, Force, Knight, Underworld. When played, if you control fewer units, including this one, than an opponent, ready this unit. Uncommon. Yeah, obviously insane with Maul.
I've been waiting for this one.
Funnily enough, Maul does not have the Knight trait.
Yeah. He's just Force Underworld, right? Maul?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm curious to see if Knight matters at all.
And Asajj does not have the Knight trait. Nobody does. He's the only one.
I could
Wow.
finally put them back together again.
Yeah, Savage Asajj is coming back.
Ah.
Yeah, I guess the Asajj we saw was they considered just the Separatist timeline.
Yep.
One, not working with the Night Sisters really anymore. But yeah, I mean, we see Ready in effect. Things that come in Ready are amazing. Falcon, Fet's Fire Spray. And like, yeah, especially if Go Wide becomes the meta in set 3, this guy will be really good, especially if he has overall.
Yeah, just beast through a clone trooper, 5 through.
Crazy.
Yeah. And
Hands
yeah,
on
you probably
comms.
still have to deal with Maul out there too.
Yep.
Like if you just open like, I don't generally advise just like ripping stuff like without your opponent taking any actions, but like if you have Maul out and you just drop him, it's like, all right, there's a 6/6 and there's a 7/7. Both got Overwhelm. I mean, you probably kill Maul if you can, because then it takes away Overwhelm from Savage. But obviously, very good play.
You could save Maul so that you have Fury units and then flip him, and then he gets overwhelmed.
Yeah, but if you're delaying deploying Maul, I'm probably content with that.
I'm not. I want them
You
together.
could just play Savage with Vader.
Yeah,
True.
at that point.
True.
If you're definitely waiting till 7, then yeah, Vader might be.
Yeah,
But-
same.
But hey,
That's
free
not
Overwhelm.
thematic.
I mean, yeah,
Not
you could,
thematic.
yeah.
I live for thematic.
On to the
Yeah.
next one. If we're talking
Unnatural Life.
thematic, we're on to the next one.
Unnatural Life is a 3-cost event. It is Cunning Villainy Force. Play a unit that was defeated this phase from your discard pile. It costs 2 less and enters play ready at the start of the regroup phase. Defeated with our favorite unit on there. This is a neat little sneak attack-esque double dipping of your units. I don't know. It could be good.
I feel like it has too many words on it.
I think it's a little too clunky, though. I think you're correct.
Because you got to have something that was relevant get defeated that turn, which sometimes you can force, sometimes you can't. It costs 2 less, and the card costs 3, so now your math is off,
Yeah, you're paying
guess
1
so.
extra.
and
Yep.
it gets defeated. But it comes in ready. I don't know. Hey, if I could like triple dip on a Ruthless Raider, I'd be a happy man.
That's true.
Yeah, I think this is going to be good in the same vein of like Palpatine's Return. Obviously, I think Palpatine's Return is just easier to play because it's just from your
It's
discard
clean.
pile at any point in time.
Didn't have to leave that turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that stipulation is definitely tough, but this one comes in ready, whereas Palps obviously doesn't. So I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
there definitely could be like some blowout turns where it's like if I have initiative and I played like an Avenger or something, I open attack with it after defeat one of their units, and then they play Fell or Rivals Fall or Power of the Dark Side, something, and then I get to play Unnatural Life, bring it back, defeat another unit, and then attack and defeat a unit. That's
But
16
you're not going to
damage.
have nearly enough for that.
What?
You're not going to have nearly enough for that.
What do you mean?
Oh, he would on curve.
No, I play it.
You just said an Avenger?
Yeah, I play the Avenger
Yeah.
for 9
On turn.
resources.
On turn
Yeah.
9.
I claim. I resource.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
I was like, I missed the part where you said you claim. I was like, all in one turn? That's
No.
Well, no,
That's
because then I
expensive.
wouldn't be
That's
able to
not
attack with it the first time anyways.
right. Yeah.
So it's
That's-
like,
No,
that's-
yeah, that's a 16 resource play.
I got lost in the sauce there. I was rereading the card
But-
as you were talking,
18
and I was
resource
like,
play or something like that.
but it's like
19.
kind of one of those things where it's like you have initiative with a powerful unit that you still get to attack with and then get to bring it back and attack with again. Especially in like some of those grindier games where this will be pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely can break that stalemate because it comes in ready.
it's interesting.
For bigger brains than I, the people that actually deck build.
All right, Scott, take away the worst Jedi of all time, absolute walking L of a person.
Yeah,
Dog
this
water.
guy, I don't know why you're saying he's the worst Jedi. He actually gets to have wives. Plural.
Yeah, and he won't even let Anakin sit on the council.
Yeah, I am.
He'll accuse Ahsoka.
That's fair. We got a ground unit, 5 cost, vigilance. I mean, it's kind of weird that he's just vigilance. Kai
It's because he's
Adimundi,
dog water, bro. He doesn't
composed
deserve
and
the
confident.
heroism
He's
symbol.
composed and confident,
He's the king of the Geonosis barbecue.
banging all of his wives.
Committed war crimes by modern standards.
All right, he is a 5 cost, 5 attack, 7 health, Force Jedi Republic. Tired of saying these things. Coordinate. When an opponent plays their second card each phase, you may draw 2 cards. That's weird.
And he's legendary.
And he's a legendary. He's a legendary. I mean, I guarantee you, he had coordinate when your opponent plays a card, like their first card each phase, you may draw 2 cards. Probably had that to begin with. And they were like, it's too strong. So they went to second card. I don't know. I mean, he's 5 costs for 5/7. So he's relevant stat line. Very relevant stat line. If you get one draw 2 cards, you're pretty happy. If you draw 2 cards once off him, you're smiley boy.
That's a lot to happen though. Them
It
needing to
is.
play 2 cards that turn and
It is.
not interact with your board to take away your coordinate.
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe that second card is what's interacting with your board.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get one card draw 2 off this, you're really kind of in the money because he does have a very relevant stat line. He's the other than Anakin, he's the thing that we've seen that's like, yes, that's just the correct stats, and the coordinate is extra. But it is a very weird coordinate.
Yeah, it's because I'm trying to think like what's another comparison, and it's probably Rey, and Rey's 4/7, but can heal. And arguably, right, if I had to pick between an ability to draw 2 cards, or heal 2, obviously the draw 2's a lot better, but hers can just be fired off at all times.
Yeah, you know that you're going to get her. You can make her happen.
Yeah.
Whereas with him, your opponent has to do something for you.
Yeah. And also, like, if Jedi and Republic matter more, like, I think she has Resistance Tag, which does not matter at all. So, like, he could also get a boost from having that. But it's just, like, weird because I look at hers, like, 4/7, and she barely got played and really doesn't get played in, like, the deck that turns on damage the most with, like, Han 2 blue.
Yeah.
So she struggled to get in there. So it's like, I think Kiadimundi's, like, will be a decent card and worth looking at, but I don't know that he's lighting the world on fire or anything.
No, I mean, now that you're saying Han 2, I'm like, well, I'll play him a turn earlier for a 5/5.
Yeah. That's certainly good.
He's gonna go with my villain decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So weird that he just is just vigilance only.
Bro, that's on Geonosis too, bro. He's committing war. He's burning families.
He just left the cookout.
He's just left
That's why he's composed and confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though
He doesn't even care. He's gonna go home to his wives.
that arc was the only time he actually ever said anything cool, and that was when Obi and Anakin were comparing how many kills they had, and then he walks up and just says his number, and it's bigger than both theirs. I was like, that was the only time you were cool. Every other time, you're a bum, dude. You're a fraud. Absolute
Well,
fraud.
he just padded his numbers with the war crime. So
Yeah. If I could just commit war crimes freely and in the name of the Republic.
To be fair, Anakin does also commit war crimes, but he becomes.
But he's an
fine. This guy's supposed to be on the council.
Look, he doesn't
he's
brag
Kyle
about what he did to
Iron
those Tuskens, okay? He doesn't go up and he doesn't go back to the temple and say, Obi-Wan, 302. You know, he doesn't do that.
the fake surrender thing too. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, that's a war crime.
Torturing Trench, smacking around Paul the Lesser.
On to the next one. I heard you like
Anyway.
exploit. We got an exploit 4 for you. We have an event, costs 15. It is single vigilance, and it's the invasion of Christophsis. Separatist plan. Exploit 4, like I said, choose an opponent, defeat each unit that player controls. It's a legendary. So it can come out at 7 resources, so it can come out before Super Laser Blast, like a turn earlier than that, which could be relevant. Exploiting 4, certainly a lot. And it does leave the theoretical that you could exploit 4, still have a unit on board, and defeat all their stuff. Like if you're able to get that many battle droids or extra units out, you could potentially blow up 4 of your small stuff, still have a decent unit on board, and then defeat each unit that player controls. So it's worth looking at it. I don't know that it'll make the cut. Like, is just
This
playing
screams-
something like Super Laser Blast that's a turn later, but
Just
always going to be
force better.
consistent.
You force throw things into it. You can force throw and kill anything.
That is funny to
Yeah.
think about. Yeah.
That's true.
That's the one thing I'm thinking with some of these exploit cards. I'm like, pretty cool. You just force throw it.
Yeah,
This-
for 15.
This
Dude,
screams-
just what's the thematic logic behind force throwing the invasion of Christophsis at somebody?
It's very abstract. You're
It's
force
a-
throwing the trauma of the battle at them.
Yeah.
Unlimited possibilities. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
This to me just screams Endless Legions Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like, I just don't think this is getting played.
Hey man, that endless Legion starts to look more attractive and more attractive. The more I play
That's what I
Palpatine
mean.
into those control into other control decks where it just goes to 15,
How much does that cost?
14.
14.
So you could play this, and the next turn I could play the invasion for 15.
Yeah.
I don't have to defeat anything. I'll just obviously you're ramping and stuff. Yes.
Obviously, I'm going to drop the finalizer off Endless Legions, and you'll have nothing left on the board to take. So,
Yeah, but if I equally ramp with you because this is only if I play a green
how are
blue
you?
deck.
How are you equally ramping with me at 15? You're missing. Anyway, not important.
No, I just
We
need to
should
want
put 'em
one
in-
extra turn because your stuff's not coming in ready, right?
No, but I have on plate effects and stuff like finalizer and
Oh yeah, but I don't care about that if I
captures
blow it
and-
all. What do I care if you capture it if the next turn I play something that kills
Yeah,
everybody?
it's you
It got me.
What if I play a Maul and then there's some overwhelm damage that wins the game for me?
Sure. Congratulations. I hope so.
That's all I'm saying. This is so outside of the realm of things that are happening.
what happens if you Endless Legion in a Maul deck while Maul is out, therefore everything has overwhelm? Oh, it doesn't make sense.
You're
I
playing.
just pull a bunch of ambush stuff in.
Yes,
Am I-
you're keeping your hero until you're at 14 resources and then you're deploying.
All right. I think the moment we talked about Endless Legion in a red villain deck, we should move on to the next card.
Yep.
So manufactured soldiers is a 3-cost event, double command supply. Choose one, create 2 clone trooper tokens, create 3 battle trooper tokens. I like this card a lot. I think that in a typical mono green, the more bodies the better.
I'm playing this in Palpatine green.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely, you should. And on top of that, you could play 3 for manufactured soldiers, and the next turn you play command. Good, you just double green into double green into double green, dude. And then you play Ponkrell into 5. It's great.
Yeah.
You know,
And it gives
And
a lot
then
of bodies to
all of
sack
your and then
for
all of your
Pal-
tokens after with Ponkrell, you draw a card.
Oh yeah,
Easy.
Palpatining all day.
Palpatining all day.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Exploiting something. This is the exploit 5. This is how you get stuff out that says exploit 3, and that's what we get in.
You get 3 bodies out.
Huge.
Very good.
Huge.
Huge.
Scott, you have the next one.
Confederate Tri-Fighter. This is a space unit, 3-cost, aggression, villainy, 3 attack, 3 health, separatist, droid, vehicle, fighter. Bases can't be healed. Meh.
I mean, I like it. It's just like annoying that it doesn't get around the best healing card in the game, which is Vigilance, because Vigilance can just defeat this and then heal 5.
Yep.
So it still heals 5 because this is already dead.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Would it have been that broken if this was a 3/4? I don't know. I mean, maybe they probably tested that, so maybe it was. But like just getting it out of range of Vigilance would have been making this card so much better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Correct.
But for that reason,
Okay.
I'm out.
It is mid.
Moving along.
Next up, we got the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars. It's an event, 2-cost command, a disaster.
Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
The Clone Wars.
Pay any number of resources. Create that many clone trooper tokens. Each opponent creates that many battle droid tokens. It's a rare. It's kind of hard to like wrap my head around this. This is certainly interesting, like a late game thing, but I don't know. It's very,
I have
it's
no idea what
very.
you want with this.
I mean, if I don't know, if you're a deck that knows you can get coordinate or exploit off, then this is good for you, and you know your opponent's not doing that.
But you're giving your opponent the same thing the next turn, though. Say you play this and you give them 3 battle droid tokens, that turns on all kinds of different stuff you're trying to execute.
But I'm saying that you don't like.
Their deck
I'm saying
might
if they're not
be
doing
geared
that.
to that.
Yes, don't play. If you know, if you
Sure.
saw them exploit something and you know they're doing that, yes, do not give them 3 whatevers.
Right.
Yeah,
But
don't play this into Palpatine.
Yeah. But I mean, if you create 3 clone troopers, you get 6/6 worth of stuff, and they get 3/3. So like even on that, you're coming out ahead, and then I assume your deck is meant to have more units to do coordinate or exploit, because this is neutral. It can go in like you can make clone troopers in your villain deck.
I guess I'm gonna just have to walk around with a stack of battle droids and clones
Yeah.
Yeah.
whenever I go anywhere now.
I mean, there probably is something where it's like you could really just do
Clones
2 and
specific.
do dice.
Clones, really, because they have multiple life.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to be using just dice.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could put 1 down, put dice on it, and then have a second one to have that as the exerted pile and dice on there. But yeah. Alright.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool to see this in hyperspace.
Yes. Got Mace on there.
It does have Mace. You can tell by the purple lightsaber Samuel L. Jackson was thinking. Very
Yes, sir.
Sabine Wren
B.
is
Ryan.
a 4-cost ground unit, cunning heroism, and it says you can count on me. It's a 4/4 fringe Mandalorian Spectre. While this unit is exhausted, she cannot be attacked unless she gains 7. On attack, you may discard a card from your deck. If it doesn't share an aspect with your base, deal 2 damage to a ground unit. I can speak for all of the Hera stands in this community, and the crowd has gone mild. Unit's good. Doesn't give me any this is the first Spectre card we've had since Spark of Rebellion, and I'm just not excited about it for that specific
She
reason.
doesn't even get the force trait.
No,
They
it's
didn't
just
even give her
dumb.
that.
This is Ahsoka Sabine. And she gets fringe instead of force. I think that's stupid.
I mean, you heard Professor Huang,
Yeah,
the worst Padawan he's ever seen.
She's lacking in that.
Professor Wang said you're terrible, Sabine.
So where's your fringe now?
Yeah, I don't know. This card doesn't throw me at all. I mean, I like that she's a 4/4/4 with like the same. It's very like we have Sabine at home, but for the other Sabine, I don't know.
I like that she
It's
can't
only
be
a card.
attacked. I mean, that's like cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She's whatever.
Yeah.
Hera fans are not rejoicing.
I do like that she is holding it in a similar fashion to Kanan in his art. Like, I think that's neat, knowing that he like first trained her with the Darksaber.
Yeah, but Kanan has force trait and she doesn't.
Correct.
She's got a lightsaber.
Yeah.
This card has force. I'd give
Give
him
her
a
the force
force,
trait.
but yeah, it's just not there.
All right. We got 2 more that aren't translated, so I'll just read them for us, but I do have the images. So we have the Soulless one. Unique. It's a 1 cost, 1 power, 2 HP, Separatist vehicle fighter. And on attack, you may exhaust a friendly droid unit or General Grievous, leader or unit. If you do, this unit gets +2 for this attack. So it's a 1/2. With an on attack, you can exhaust a droid unit or General Grievous leader
General
side,
Grievous
which is actually
unit.
extremely interesting in a sense that this is like the first thing that's interacted with a leader this way, where they have like an alternate condition to exhaust them. So it could be a 1/3/2. If you're running Grievous, this can always be on as a +2 attack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very intrigued by that. I like this a lot, and I definitely want to try it because of that interaction. It's like
the downside is General Grievous has a exhaust action himself.
Yeah.
So it's a little anti-synergistic.
It'll just be like, do I need a Sentinel this round, or can I pump +2 damage?
Yeah. And then if you're just creating battle droids, you just have battle.
Yeah. You can just start exhausting your 1/1s and not care.
No, it's a good card.
And uncommon.
Yeah.
And then last card, we got Relentless Rocket Droid, 4 cost, 3 power, 5 HP, Separatist Droid Trooper. While you control another Trooper unit, this unit gets +2/+0. So it's a 4 cost, 3/5, but if you have another Trooper unit, it gets +2, so it's a 5/5.
That's easy enough.
Yeah, the token droids are
Troopers.
so I mean,
Everything's
seems pretty pretty easy to get off. Like, you know,
Yeah.
in theory, from what we're saying.
That's a nice ECL target.
Yeah. 4 cost, 5/5. I'm in.
Put a
Takes
core in the
everything
jar.
And it's a trooper too, so it's not separatist. So also like hero decks could use this that are spawning out clone trooper tokens. They have access to 5/5s as well from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that brings it home.
Woo!
That's all 30 something cards, 33, 35. I forget how many of those.
And only half of them are things that we actually had to talk about.
Yeah. But cool. We're gonna tune out here. We're back to weekly essentially with this. Spoilers are rolling out. We'll do our best to keep up. Ideally, this comes out every Monday, but that schedule's permitting as always. And this will be pretty much through like October. Start to slow down a few weeks in, I assume. But yeah. Deuces, y'all. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.